Hey guys, welcome back to Throwing Wrenches Garage. I'm Tom, and we are back today on the Chevelle. Everything we're doing today is about the Green Machine. And there's a list that I've got of the things that we want to do to this car this winter, things that would be holdbacks. If we were to do these during the summer, they'd keep the car down for several days at a time, or maybe even weeks at a time, which I don't want to do. I want to be driving it. So it's the perfect opportunity to get some of those things done in the winter and show you guys some of those bigger tasks. And we're going to get cracking on one of those today in the freezing cold down here in the garage, but the heaters are taking the edge off. So the last time we talked, I showed you guys the list that we had made up for the Chevelle and the Camaro. These are the things that we want to get done over the winter time before the cars are driving again next spring. Well, I've already crossed one of them off, or erased one of them off the list for the Chevelle, and that was to clean up the wiring. I didn't bring you guys in on that one because, quite frankly, it's the same thing that I did on the Camaro, so you don't need to see that again. We do still have a new fuel line that I want to install on the carb. We do still want to replace the rear end. That's going to happen too. But both of those are going to wait for a little bit. What we're going to focus on today is this reupholstering the seats and replacing carpets. Now, we're not actually going to get both of those things completely done today, but we're going to get started on them. So why do I even want to do that? There's really two main things that I'm finding to be the problem in the interior in the car right now. The first is the seats. Super uncomfortable. The upholstery is just shot. The foam is God only knows how many years old, so it's flattened out. And that's just super uncomfortable in seats that were not exactly the most ergonomic to start with when they were created in 1970. So we're going to replace those with something that's a little bit more up to date, but still looks right. The second piece is the carpets. Carpets are shot. I have scrub-a-dubbed, I have shampooed, I've done all of the magic things that you can possibly do to the carpet in this car to try to make it decent and presentable, but it's just shot. I don't know if this is the original carpet. It might be. If it's not the original, it's super old, and it's certainly seen its fair share of feet and miles. It's crusty, it's worn down, there's parts of it that are so brittle that they'll crack up, it's frayed in spots, and the parts that are green are few and far between. Most of them are pretty browned at this point because it's just so filthy. So we're going to replace that. But this is a bigger project than just those two things swapping out. The seats are going to be a big pain in the neck because I got to strip them down and then we got to build them back up again with the kit. So that's going to be a chore. The carpets are always a pain to put in. They're going to be especially a big pain to put in the wintertime. I don't even know yet what I'm going to do to get those things warmed up enough so that they lay correctly in this car to put them in. That's a problem for another day. It won't be this one. The first thing we've got to do today is basically strip everything out of the interior, and then we're going to inspect our floors because I haven't looked at them from the top side. So who knows what's going on in there. There could be things that we have to repair. There could be holes. There could be rust. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm also kind of not. So let's dive into this thing now, huh? Well, first things being first and all, we're going to try to get the seats out. That's honestly the biggest first hurdle to overcome. So these are, I think, if memory serves, 7/16 bolts that are on here. So the order of operations, the way this is going to work, we're going to take the seats out, we're going to take the seat belts out, we'll remove the rear seats, and we'll remove the center console. All that stuff has got to come out of here if we expect to be able to remove the carpets. First it's seats, because we can get those out of here and then moved into the basement so that we can start working on them soon. This one should come out. can see how discolored this carpet is. At least it's coming through on the camera on my end. But then we've also got those big tear holes over there. It's just shot. Like, could I get more out of this? Could I keep it going? Sure. But, I don't know. I'm embarrassed by it and grossed out by it, so it's just time. Now this next bit is the seatbelt holders right by the center console. These are 3/4 inch bolts that we got to back out of here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use an impact because if memory serves, these are nasty. I'm going to do the same thing, use an impact when it comes to removing the shoulder harnesses, which is a Torx bolt. It's probably a, I don't know, 30 or 40. Can't remember which, but I'll find it. All right, now on to that. Alright, so let's see. We're still going to have to remove this seat, which is usually pretty easy to get out. It'll have some retention pieces on it, but it's not critical. We can actually do all of this stuff for now without taking the back seat out. We can get the carpet out without it, because the carpet's not all the way underneath it. But first, let's take these sill plates off. Now, taking the center console out is a little bit more of a process, where you need to get access inside the center console to remove the bolts that are actually mounted through the floor. So let's start doing that. I don't like using a drill bit or a drill gun here with these screws, because these are finished screws. They're pretty fine thread, and I just don't want to mar them up. So we'll do this the slow way. You have to remove the bulb here, or remove the socket. There we go. These are what keeps your shifter glowing in the night. And now there should be a few bolt holes that we can get to in here. This whole thing comes off. And we've got several more pieces on here to hold this in. Now, we're only removing the bolts that hold the console to the floor. There are more bolts that hold the gear shifter mechanism to the floor. We're not removing those, no need. I don't like doing extra stuff I don't have to do, so I'm not gonna. Don't we? Yeah, I think we do. There we go. Well, I said we weren't going to have to take this off, but we've determined that's a lie. We are going to have to take this off. Well, this is the most interesting retention piece I've seen. Somebody literally just jammed this wire around it. This is not right. I'm gonna have to get a proper C-clip on this later. I'm amazed that this thing's held on as long as it has. There you go. That is not appropriate. Okay. Okay. Out you go. Hey guys, quick break in the action here so that I can talk to you a little bit about Ride ID. I've talked to you a bunch about Ride ID before, but I've got some cool new news to share with Ride ID. I've got a link, and it's a link with a discount for you guys. So for a limited time, you guys can go to the link that's located down in the description of this video. Click on that and sign up for the premium membership with Ride ID. The premium membership is still a cheap thing, but it gets you the ability to have multiple cars and a few other features along with that. If you sign up with my link and you go there and sign up with a premium account, you guys are going to get a free set of stickers. This is pretty cool. You normally have to pay for the stickers, but you're going to get them for free if you do it through that link below. So give it a shot. It's actually a great thing. I love it. I keep on changing the profile for both my car and for Declan's car as we change things in them. We can add new photos. We can take photos down. You can put in a description of the car that you can actually have Ride ID read aloud for you. So you can actually click a button and hear the descriptions of the cars being read. You can favorite other cars on there. You can scroll through and see other cars in your area. It's a really cool thing to be able to do, and it gives you that sort of online presence for your car so you can share all the stuff that you've done to your car and tell other car guys about what's going on and check out other car guys' cars and see what they've done to it. Check it out. Go to the site. Sign up with the link below, sign up for a premium plan, free stickers. Now for the fun part, can we wrench this out of here? Alright, so let's take a looky-loo at these floors now that we've got the carpet off. But this is the first time that I've really seen them in this entirety. So we're going to kind of go through it. You guys are going to see it too. And we'll see what's gone wrong. So, I mean, overall, what's here, solid. Not seeing anything really crumbling away. This looks a little weak here. We might have to dig into that a little bit, figure out what's going on, but I mean, it still feels ultimately pretty solid. This is some previous patchwork that's gone on that is, well, that isn't pretty, but geez, it looks solid. It's all welded in place, kind of booger welded, but you know, she's not a show car. I'm not in favor of tearing up stuff that's already in decent condition. So this is solid. I'm not in favor of replacing it. This is just like insulation. Same here. Got some insulation there. Let's go look on the passenger side. Oh, sorry, the driver's side. This is the passenger side. All right, so it looks like we got a sea of rust, quite frankly. But this looks like it's all mostly surface rust. We're going to poke at this a little bit more. We'll get this vacuumed out and cleaned up, and we'll kind of stab at it a bit with the screwdriver and stuff, see, but it feels like it's pretty solid. So I think we may just scrub this one up, and then go ahead and hit this with some rust encapsulator. Convert this stuff over to good metal as much as we can, and we will probably paint this whole inside, just to get this all unified. And I would like to put some sound deadening mat in here, just to help with some insulation, and some from sound and heat. We'll get these speaker wires taken care of too. We'll get them inside of this carrier so that we have one unified presentation and all that's clean. So it's an opportunity to kind of clean things up a bit, dress things up a bit, and yeah, overall, I'm not too scared or disappointed at what I'm seeing here. It's not pristine, it's not a show car, and we knew that, by the way, guys. Like, knew that going into this, that this had been a driver for a long time and had seen its repairs. So I'm just pretty happy that I'm not looking at a ton of dire work ahead of me. Again, you know, if I was concerned about this being a show car, I'd go back and replace those. But if we've got solid repairs, even if they're not pretty, I'm leaving them. I'm not going to tear that up just so that I can do something that is supposed to be the quote-unquote right way. If I got to do the repairs, I'll do it the right way. But if I don't got to do the repairs, guess what? I'm skipping it. Now, even though we got a lot of other stuff to do, I'm going to take it upon myself to start doing this POR stuff now. We've done a quick degrease. The reason why I want to do this stuff now is that it's going to take at least 2 coats. And with as cold as it is out here, even with the heaters on, this stuff is going to take a while to dry. So we're just going to go ahead and start our coating process, knowing that it's going to take us a couple of applications and probably a couple of days, and we'll just get it done. So after an appropriate coat of POR 15, this is what we're left with. Looking pretty good overall. This is just one coat, so we will hit it again with a second coat, although I will have to get another can. I used up what I had to get this much done. So we'll throw another coat on it though, and we'll call this good. This is basically going to protect this floor as much as I'm willing to do right now, and then we can start worrying about the other stuff. So for now, I'm going to put this one out of my mind, let it dry a while, and maybe we'll come back this in probably 2 days and take a swing at the next piece of this, which should be a second coat, and then putting the carpet down. Well, that's about all I can get done on this thing. It's going to take a little bit of time for that POR 15 or POR 15 or whatever it's called to dry out, because it is not exactly warm here in the garage. So that's going to take a bit to dry out, and I got to go get another can so I can put another second coat on there because we really want to make sure everything's covered. I may even go nuts a little bit off camera and scrape up some of that old insulation, since I did get a bunch of the butyl heat and noise reduction filmy stuff to be able to put on the floor. But I can't do any more work on the car now because I got to pack, because the wife and I are actually headed down to Florida for a little weekend. So while she is in a class doing work and getting smarter, I am going to start taking some little road trips and see some car stuff, and I think I got something I can bring to you. Well guys, there's a reason why I am not working on the car this weekend, and it's because I'm not there. I'm in Florida, and currently at the Big Daddy Don Garlett's Museum of Drag Racing. So I've never been here before, a place I've always wanted to go to. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. So let's go in and see. Well guys, I highly recommend the Don Garlett's Museum of Drag Racing if you are anywhere in that Ocala area in Florida. it was a great take-in. I spent a few hours there just wandering around and checking everything out. And honestly, I could have spent more time there if I had more to give. It's definitely worth the take-in, well worth it, and some amazing pieces of drag racing history here. So I hope you enjoyed a little taste of that I was able to give you. Next time, you're going to see me putting down some of that insulation on the inside of the car and getting the carpet laid, hopefully, and maybe we can get onto the first steps of starting to work on those seats, or at least I can show you the foams and what we're going to be doing with those. So until I see you next time, keep on throwing wrenches.